Welcome guys, and today we're going to continue our lessons on Python for beginners, and today we're going to learn conditional statements in Python. So without wasting time, let's just get started. So what is a condition in Python? So a condition actually helps the program to make decisions. For example, in real life I can say if it's raining, then you have to take an umbrella with you, otherwise you can go out freely. So this is how we use conditions in Python, and actually Python also uses the same logic as we use in real life. So we are going to dive deep into this conditional statement, but before that we are going to learn some operators here. We are going to learn some comparison operators here. So this double equal to means equal to, this double equal sign means equal to in comparisons, and this exclamation and this, so this exclamation and this equal to means not equal to, right? And this means greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to when we are making comparisons. And actually there is a difference between this one equal sign and this two equal sign. This one equal sign is used in assignments and this is used in comparison. This is what I mean by that. For example, when I have a name variable here, I can declare this and I'll assign a value of, let's say, Mike to this variable. So what I'm doing is that I'm assigning this Mike here, this string here, to this variable. But you actually use two equal signs in comparison, right? So you are going to actually use more of the comparison operators in conditional statements in Python. So now let's go inside conditional statements in Python. So there are three basic or three conditional statements in Python: the if, the else, and the else if, or the short for elif. So we are going to first learn the if condition here, conditional statement here. So this if. So let me give an example and let me explain what if means. So I can say if this name is equal to name, then I will print hello here. Now let's run this program as of now and let's see what is happening here. I see hello here. So if statements will always run when the condition given is true. So you type your if and you give your condition here, and you put a semicolon at the back here, at the back of your condition. And this actually tells Python that now, okay, the if statement is ready to work. And you put our codes inside the if block, right? So when you hit enter here, you see Python automatically indents this for you. So all the codes that's in this indentation block belongs to this if statement. But the codes outside this indentation block does not belong to this if statement. For example, when I indent it here and I print, let's say, welcome. Let's try and run this program and let's see what is happening. You see hello and welcome, right? And the hello prints because this if condition is true. But let me add e here and let me try and run this program once more and let me see what is happening here. We see the welcome, but we don't see the hello, right? Because now this if condition here is false, right? So this code inside this if condition will not run, but the code outside will run, right? So this is what I mean by that. So this is basically how we use if statements in Python. And the next thing we're going to learn is else, right? So else works hand in hand with if. So we use else when you have exactly two conditions, right? So if this name here is equal to this name, is equal to name here, then we print hello. So if is going to run when this condition is true, but else is going to run when this condition, this if condition becomes false. So let's say I indent it here and I type my else here, and see how we write the else syntax. You type your else, you type your semicolon here, you hit enter, and Python will indent it for you. We're going to print a statement here, and we're going to print I don't know you. So when you run this program, this if statement is going to execute first, and when this condition is true, this code inside the if block is going to run, and that's it. The program is going to end. The program will never get to this else statement here. But if this condition is false, then Python will move to this else statement and execute whatever is in this else statement here. So let me run this program. We see hello here, but we didn't see I don't know you, right? So let me make this condition false. Let me add one E here. So now this condition is false, and let's try and run this. We are going to get I don't know you, right? So this hello won't print because now this condition here is false. But what if you have so many conditions that we want to do, right? Because if and else is used when you exactly have two conditions. But let's say you have more than two conditions, right? So this is what I mean by that. Let's say you have a score here, a score variable here, and you declare let's say 50 to this score variable here. You can use this if statement to make some decisions, right? So you can say if score is greater than or equal to 50 here, then you are going to print good, right? Else we are going to print bad. But what if we want to we want to form more conditions with this score here? This is what I mean by that. So what if we want to get print an information to users who also will score 40 or 30 or 20? So with that, we're going to use an elif statement. An elif simply means otherwise if. So you type the elif here. So we say elif or otherwise if score is greater than or equal to 30, you're going to print good. Let me make this one better here, right? So this is how you use the three conditional statements in Python. So we use if when you have only one condition, and we use if and else when you have two conditions, and when you have more than two conditions, you can use the three of them. You can actually use if and elif for two conditions. There's no problem with that. So this is basically how to use this if statement, this conditional statements in Python. So you type a condition and you type a semicolon at the back here, and you hit enter, and Python will indent it for you. So every code that is here will run as long as this if condition is true. The same thing applies to else, otherwise if, but the else doesn't take any condition. The else will only run when these two conditions here are false, right? So this is how we use conditional statements in Python. So the next thing we're going to learn today is logical operators. So we have three logical operators in Python. So we have the AND, we have OR, and we have NOT. So I'm going to explain this to you in a moment. So let's say we have a name variable here, and I assign a name of Paki to it, and I set an age variable here, an integer variable here, and I give 24 to it. We can actually make conditions, logical conditions with this these variables here. So we can say if name equals Paki, and if and age equals, let's say, 24, then we are going to print welcome. So now let's run this program here and let's see what is happening here. So we see welcome here. Why? Because now this if statement is true, and this AND logical operator actually runs when the two conditions given here are true. So if name is Paki and if age is 24, just like is here, then it's going to run. But if one condition is false, this code is not going to run. So let me change this 24 to 23 and let's see what is happening here. So let's run this program, and we are going to see that Python didn't print anything here because now one of these conditions is false, right? So we are moving on to also AND will run only when the two conditions given are true. So let's move to OR. So OR will run when one condition given here is true. So let's say when I have them to be Paki, and even if the age is not 23, this is actually going to run. So let's run this, and you're going to see the welcome message here because one of these conditions are true. But if all the conditions are false, all won't run, right? So let me clear the I, and let's leave the PAKK here, and let me run this code here. Nothing is going to run, right? Because now all the conditions are false. So this is how we use and or in Python. These are actually logical operators. So now let's move to not. We can set a variable like logged in, and you can give a boolean variable, and you can give a boolean like false here. So you can say if we are going to use the not logical operator. If not logged in, if the user is not logged in, then we're going to print log in. Right, so now let's run this program and let's see what is happening here. So run this program and we're going to see login. Why? Because the login is false, and this code will run, and this is the reason why this code will run. You see, login is set to false, and this not will change this false to true. So this will make this condition true, and I'm going to run this login. So already the login is false, so this will become something like so it will become something like if not false, and if not false means if true. So if true, then the condition will run. But what if it's not true? We can use an else statement to do this, and we're going to indent this, and we're going to type else. We're going to print you are already logged in. So now let's run this program as at 9. Let's see what is happening here. So you see login here actually, because this login is set to false, but let's set this login to true here, and let's see what is going to happen. So true. So now we are logged in. So logged in is true. Let's see what is going to happen here. We are going to see you are already logged in. Why? Because this logged in here is true, and this if statement is not going to run, because now this condition here is false, because this will become like if not true, and if not true means if false. So if false, then this program is not going to run. It will pass the execution to this else, and this else is actually going to run. So that is how we use the not operator in Python. Sorry. And the next thing I'm going to learn is nested conditions. For example, when I have a name variable here, let's say I set this to Paki here, and I set an age to let's say 24, and I set ID has ID to, let's say, true. Let me clear this one. Let me clear this. So let's say we have a name variable and a boolean variable here. We are going to use nested conditions here. So you can actually say if name equals Paki, and you can also type another if statement inside this if block again. We're going to check two things here. If name is equal to Paki, and if has underscore ID, right, then we're going to print welcome. Otherwise, we are going to print, so this else is actually for this if statement. So we are going to print you don't have an ID. So you have to get one, right? And you have to set an if else statement for this if too. We can say else print you are not Paki, or you are not, you're going to say you are not Paki here. So now let's run this program and let's see what is happening here. We get welcome, right? Because this condition, these two conditions are actually true. The name is Paki, and we have the ID is also true. But what if you set ID to false? False here. Now let's run this program again, and it prints you don't have an ID, right? Even though your name is Paki, but you don't have an ID, so we are not going to print this welcome for you. Now let's change this Paki to, let's say, Mikey, and let's set this to true. To, let's say I have an ID, but I'm not Paki. So now let's run this program, and you see you are not Paki, right? So this condition becomes false, and this print statement will never be printed because actually one of these conditions are false. So that is how we use nested conditions in Python. So we are concluding conditional statements in Python, and we can use this nice question to finish our course here. So we are going to solve this question here. So now let's read the question together. The question says, build a discount system for customers. Value of one product is $50. Ask the customer for the quantity they buy, and also ask whether this is their first time buying the product. After that, calculate the total price for the product. If the customer buys 20 or more products, we give them a discount of 20% and 10% if they buy 10 or more products. And if the customer is a first-time buyer, give them an extra 5%. And finally, we display the total price, total discount, the discount amount, and the final amount here. So you can pause the video and try this on your own, and this is the solution. So we are going to start by declaring the price per product. So it says value of one product is $50. So we set price per product. This is equal to 50. I'm going to clean this in a moment, so let's go and let's continue to solve this problem. And it says if the customer is a first time buyer, give them an extra 5%. So we actually have to set an input variable here, a first time variable here, to ask users if this is their first time buying this product. So we say first timer, and this is equal to input enter input. You're going to ask, is this your first time buying here? Right. And you can also set another variable here, and we can set, he said, ask the customer for the quantity they buy, and also ask whether this is their first time buying the product. Okay, so you're going to set a quantity variable here too, and I'm going to put this input here. I'm going to say, so how many of the products, new products will you buy? Right. So after that, we can set the discounts, because it says we give 20% discount to people who buy 20 or more of the products, and 10% to people who buy 10 or more. So we can set the discount to, let's say, for the meantime, we can set it to 0. Right. And we can also now we can also calculate the total price of this product. So the total price will be a variable. So total price, this will be equal to the price per product multiplied by the quantity, the number of quantity, right? So after this, then we can now use our logic. So these are basically the variables we need. So we need a price per product, first time, and the quantity discounts, and the total price. So now we can use our conditional statements to start the logic. So we can say if the quantity, you see, it's asking here that it says calculate the total price for the products. So if the customer buys 20 or more products, we give them a discount of 20% and 10% if they buy 10 or more. So we are going to say if the quantity that the user is requesting is greater than or equal to 70, then we are going to set a new discount value for this user or for this customer. So we're going to say discount is equal to discount plus 0.20. So 20% to a fraction will be, or to decimal will be 0.20 here, so that we can actually use this to perform mathematical computations, right? So he said this, so you see this discount is initially set to 0, and if the quantity of the the product is greater than or equal to, is greater than or equal to 20, then we have to increase this discount by 20%. And initially this discount is 0. So this will become like 0, discount is equal to 0 plus 0.20, which is 0.20, right? So we are moving on to the another logic here. Otherwise, if quantity is greater than or equal to 10, then the discount will be discount plus 0.10 here, meaning 10% here. So we can also set another logic here. We can set if first timer is equal to yes. Let's say, so let's add some yes or no prompts here. So we're going to say yes and no over here. So if first timer is equal to yes, then their discount will be equal to discount plus 0.05, because you're actually giving a discount of 0.05% to all first timers, right? So now we can perform the mathematical computations now. So we can say the discount amount. So now let's calculate the discount amount. So the discount amount will be equal to the total price multiplied by our discounts. So with this we're going to get our discount amount, and the final price will be equal to the total price minus our discount amount here, right? So this is what we are doing here. So first we declare this price per product variable. We ask the user if they are first timers, we ask the quantity that they are buying, we set discount to 0, we calculate the total price of whatever the user is or the customer is buying, and we set some logic here that if the quantity is greater than or equal to 70, then we have to give them a 20% discount. So their discount will be discount plus 0.2. So initially discount is 0. So discount equals to discount plus 0.2 means this actually here means 0 plus 0.2, which is 0.20. And then if the quantity is greater than or equal to 10, we also add give a discount of 10%. And if the user is a first timer, we also add an additional 5% to it. And after that, we calculate the discount amount, and we do that by multiplying the total price and the discounts that we are going to get here, right? And the final price will be this total price here minus the discount amount. So now let's read this. It says, finally, we have to display the total price, total discounts, the total discount amount, and the final amount. So now let's display the total price here. So you are going to print the total price. So use the print function here. I'm going to use a formatted string, and I'm going to type total price. This is equal to this total price, total price. You can actually add a $sign here to make it more beautiful here. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. So now we are done with the total price here. So you said we should display the total price. We should display the total discount. So we're going to print total discount, and this will be the discount that we have multiplied by 100%. We will convert this decimal here to percentage, because it's asking for the total discount. So if you have 20 as our discount and we are converting it to the total discount, we multiply it by 100 to get 20%, right? So we do it this way. We multiply our discounts by 100%, and then let's say our discount is 0.2, so 0.2 times 100 will give us 20%, right? So this is how we are going to do it. So now we are going to print, the third one we are going to print is our discount amount here, the discount amount. So we print discount amount. And you're going to use some $sign here, and you're going to type discount amount here, the discount amount variable. And the last thing we are going to display is the price. So we are going to print the total price here. So the total price will be, sorry, add a $sign here, and let's put the total price inside this. So I think we are done with this program here. So now let me clear this. Here. So let's send this here and see what we are doing. So first of all, we set the price to 50, the price per product. We ask whether they are first timers, the quantity that they will be requesting. The initial discount is 0, the total price, and we set our logic here, right? So let us run this program as of now, and let's see what is happening. It's supposed to be final price. Sorry, it's supposed to be final price, and we actually have to add a percentage sign here to make it more beautiful, right? Sorry for that. And let's run this program again. And this is this your first time buying here? I type no. How many of the products will you buy? I type, let's say 30, and you see the total price is $1,500. Discount is 20, and the discount amount is 300. So the total price left is 1,200. So you have to pay this 1,200. So actually, they will take a discount of $300 from this amount. So now let's run this program again. And is this your first time? I'm going to say yes. How many products will you buy? I'm going to say 45 products. And it says your total price is $2,250. Your total discount is 25%, and discount amount is $56.25. And the total price you have to pay is $1,687.5. So I'm going to run this program once more. And is this your first time? I'm going to say yes. And how many of the products will you buy? I'm going to say one. I'm just buying one product. And let's see what you are having. So the total price is 50 for one product, and the total discount is 5%, and discount amount is 2.5. So we are actually paying 47.5. So this is basically how to use the if and else conditions in Python. So thank you for watching the video.